On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out who we think the Harley Quinn bad guy will be for Season 5, if Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy break up, and what if someone watched every episode of What If? All of that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. Hello, nerds, and welcome to the Superhero Show, a podcast where friends gather around to talk about their favorite comic book-based TV shows that came out that week. This week, I am joined by my good friend, Ryan. Ryan, how's it going?
Hello, Cassie. Thank you so much for having me tonight. It is a pleasure, as always, for you to have me.
Wow, that radio voice gets me every time. You're caving so smooth. Ryan, this week, we're going to be talking about Harley Quinn and What If. Between those two, I'm excited to get back into Harley Quinn because that's my jam. I know you're a big What If guy. We'll save that for later. Harley Quinn, though, last season you constantly talked about how they were going to break up and you were just waiting for them to break up. Have you given up on this, or have you realized that they are just going to be together?
Well, let's not put it in terms like I was rooting for them to break up.
You were rooting for it every moment you got. You were like, wow, I can't wait to see the demise between these two.
And Cassie, you can vouch for even in real life when I'm around you and Mike and Caitlin, I'm whispering to both you and your SOs, break up. Just do it.
Hey, what if you just broke up right now and it was so messy?
Look, this is why people call me TNT. Not because I explode, but I love drama. We love drama. Yeah. Did they have the movies?
No, they just had drama and more drama on drama.
Which is just Shawshank played. And Snowpiercer, of course. I am ready to put down my flag. My green flag, the only color I carry, and say that I think that this couple might stick together for the long run, and I'm happy about it. Look, I come from a generation, Cassie, where drama...
Be careful. Okay, drama, yeah.
Where two people like this just didn't belong together. No, where TV was built around cheating, breaking up, you know, like this, the relationship suspense. And maybe that's not something that Harley Quinn really needs to have.
I still listen, not from the same generation as you.
Pretty close.
People that look like this can be together in my book. The thing that always, like, it was such a big thing is that, like, hey, if your characters get together too early, like, you're gonna lose interest, and then they got to get all messy and break up like 5 different times for 5 different reasons.
Right.
So I'm kind of with you on it. But I could, like, this one just doesn't seem to, like, Harley Quinn has always done whatever it wants. Like, it never seemed like it was following a certain thing. And it, like, some people were like, I think they got together too soon, but it was like, what's the point of this if they're not?
And I'd rather have, instead of like drama about will they, won't they, or breaking up, I'd rather have jokes like, you know what, I will get to the jokes I like later.
Save it.
That was a close one.
We can't risk another one of those. So let's just go ahead. Let's take a quick break and we'll dive back in. When we come back, we will be talking about the first 2 episodes of Season 5 of Harley Quinn. On the first and second episodes of Season 5 of Harley Quinn, Harley and Ivy are in a couple's rut until they switch it up by moving to Metropolis, where Lena Luthor is making sure that they have amazing opportunities and that the people of the city welcome them, no matter how many arms King Shark's kids bite off at a princess party while under Harley's supervision. Taste Ryan, I ask you this. As someone who maybe just threw a kid's birthday party, how many arms eaten is too many at a party?
4.
4?
You know, 3's a coincidence. And, I do want to say 4 individuals. Anybody gets both arms ripped off, blow the whistle. The party's done.
Okay.
Cassie, you happen to have some involvement in this princess party. I feel like we kind of go through it. Take any notes from this episode, or do you think we did a good job, a bad job?
You know, it really shows you when you're like, you see things and you're like, it would be so rad if I had money. And then sometimes you turn on the TV to like zone out from that. And then sometimes the TV's like, hey, this is what you could do if you had money. And you're like, fuck. Wow, that does seem cool.
Instead of the art party where the piñata was a trash bag and inside the trash bag was trash. Yeah. All the kids ran and collected it.
But they had so much fun digging through.
just to find one piece of candy that somebody may have thrown away.
My question didn't lead that much into the actual story of this, but every time we come back to Harley and Quinn, the two, the lovable duo,
Harley, Ivy, Poison Quinn, we got it.
I'm just like excited to see where they're at, and as soon as we started in a rut, I was like, they're so real for this,
dude. Not that either one of us are in ruts now, but always nice to see other people do it. One of the lines of the episode is Harley's trying to be excited about this whole live in a hotel, room service, watch reality shows. And she's like, oh, this is great to eat where we sleep. And that's such a sign of like an issue. Is it you get the takeout and you go straight to your bed to dine.
That everything is all in one place.
And they're matching sweatsuits, just covered in stains. I don't know if they're new. I don't know if they're old, but just disgusting.
In Gotham, the worst you've ever seen it. And they are still like so proud to live there. Everywhere they go, they're just, people are like, oh my God, you smell like piss.
Yeah. That's something I didn't know. I didn't know there was more for me to learn about Gotham, but there's a certain piss smell that Gothamites all have.
Yeah. It must be in the water or something.
Fucking so much that I missed about this show. And we could do the Kite Man, comparisons if you want, but I just feel like second by second, page by page, there's not a lot of shows with more laughs. For instance, let's ruin some of them for people who haven't seen them. Mm-hmm. While they're walking through the park, talking about how destroyed Gotham is, a guy is proposing to his girlfriend, and just a big giant monster comes down and takes him away. Yep. That's just life in the big city.
To get out of this rut, they randomly, I can't remember how they end up going to Metropolis. Do they just want to go to the ball that Superman's having?
Well, yeah, but Harley feels that Superman owes her a thank you for saving his life.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least.
At the very one thank you. And so they're going to go, and she's going to get her thank you from Superman. What we don't know is that Superman is horribly depressed because Metropolis, in turning into a perfect city with no crime or anything, sort of means that there's no need for Superman. Mm-hmm. You don't think about how much heroes rely on evil people doing evil shit.
Mm-hmm. My question to you, the city has no crime now because there are these little robots who basically can calculate every situation, know when to intervene, when not to.
And based on the movies I've seen, Cassie, this can never go wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how long over under until these robots are taken over and they're going to fuck up these robots?
I think it was the cliffhanger of episode 1 or 2. 10 minutes?
Yeah.
10 minutes into episode 3, I'm going to say.
We have another... It seems like our big bad is probably going to be another Luthor, but not the main bad Luthor. Do you think Lana Luthor?
Lena, Lena.
That beautiful name.
How about, oh shit, wait, on Archer, she played, okay, so here it's Lena, and then on Archer, she of course played Lana.
See, that's not on us. That's on them. That's on her for taking 2 jobs that close.
She is obviously the big bad. Nobody says I'm not like the Luthors this much, unless you're absolutely a Luthor. And I mean, I don't even think they're trying to be coy about it. There's some points where she's about to react, but then she changes her evil reaction to one of big time support, and I'm different than the other billionaires that you know. I will announce this right now, folks. No billionaire is different than any of the other billionaires you know. They are all the same and all evil.
Watching this, they do make it obvious. They're like, hey, here she is. This one is only into philanthropy. She's really down with Harley and Ivy and wants to support them for no reason. Don't worry about it. But my question to you is, even though you could see that obviously it's a scam, if a billionaire is offering you all these things, like, I'm not going to fucking turn it down.
Billionaires that are listening, I'd say there's probably 7. If it sounds like Cass and I are talking shit on you, if you offer us anything like this, we will sell all of our souls. We will sell the souls of other people we know to get any sort, like, give us $20, maybe.
Give us a piñata that's not a trash bag, and we will be hyped.
Those are expensive, so.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
We might take that back can you take piñatas back?
Return it.
Oh, this didn't work. But no, like if you offer us a lofty job with a big title that we don't understand, stamp. I can't sign my name, so I'm stamping my name right on that contract.
Once we get in it, so the first episode, it's mainly them at this. I feel like the second episode is when we really get into like Harley Quinn nonsense, and that's as soon as King Shark is in the episode. And as soon as he walked in, I was like, we're back, baby. Not only King Shark, but let's not forget Bane as well.
Yeah, we do get some Bane, which did feel like when Steve Urkel was on Full House. Like now he feels like he's a part of a different show, and he's here. And I wish that when he walked in, Harley Quinn was like, "It's Bane from TV's Kite Man," and there was a studio audience that started clapping.
Yeah, because he's full daddy to Goldilocks, and that's whose party he's throwing is Goldilocks' princess party. And I'm just so glad that the lore, like, he's just following us now as a dad on these shows.
And his wife or girlfriend or whatever, voiced by Casey Wilson, who I believe has an issue giving people fish, but Cassie thinks it is somebody else.
Honestly, both could be.
But not having rewatched the series, I think this is probably the most, if not the first, big glimpse of Metropolis we've gotten. Mm-hmm. And the way that it is, and, like how it shows how do you want freedom in Gotham, but to constantly be scared? Or do you want to be completely safe forever and essentially have no freedoms in Metropolis, which I believe in this episode they showed was like a 4-minute swim away. Like you just hop in the water and you're there. I think that's where most of the interesting stuff is going to come from this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We also have, now that they're in Metropolis, one of the things that Luther,
Lexa.
It doesn't seem like a name is the problem. It doesn't feel like it should be one.
At this point, you've talked yourself stupid, and now all of them are going to seem wrong to both of us.
Yeah, that's definitely, at this point, I've talked myself stupid, and I wasn't born that way. Absolutely. She has offered Poison Ivy to, like, I don't know, just be the greenery person of Metropolis.
Yeah, of course.
Which, of course, she would just offer that. But coming along with that is a professor. Like, basically, we got her origin story, which I knew. I don't know how in line with comics and everything this is, but, like, this was crazy.
I honestly don't know. And Poison Ivy could definitely be one of those characters. Like, she's at that, not A level where we know everything about their origin, and not C level where they've just never had one, but one at that B level where, like, there could be 6 different origins, across the last 6 decades. So I honestly don't know, but this one worked for me. My only issue is that Lena introduces her to Jason Woodrue, who is going to, be in charge of this. And they do a meet uncute because they have a past. And Poison Ivy basically explains that, we had a relationship, but it ended badly or it ended awkwardly. This relationship does not end awkwardly. This is one of the worst ways you can end a relationship, I would say. And she is downplaying it. Some
would say that attempted murder in order to steal what you've created is a bad way. This is also where I don't know, he's a plant teacher. That's how I understand him. She was in plant class.
Let's be clear, though. He teaches humans about plants, not teaches plants about, like, math.
So important. This guy also uninspired and sucks at his job somehow, but is, like, a great teacher and is allowed to be there, but has never created anything.
What do you call this type of person, this type of character again, Cassie? Oh, yeah, straight white male? Isn't that what you always call them? Yeah.
Yeah. So he's doing his thing, and they get in a little relationship, and one day she's like, hey, look at this thing I've created. This thing that she's created is Baby Frank, the cutest version of Frank that's ever existed.
Who not only holds his eyes, as we know, but from his arm vines are tear ducts, because we have to watch Baby Frank cry while his parents are fighting.
And she's just there, fully there to comfort him. He instantly sees $signs and a way to secure his job because, again, he sucks at it. And he's like, this is my creation. And she's like, no, I created it. And he's like, that's interesting. What if I poison you? This plant is immune because you've done that. You've made this plant immune. I'll poison you, and then I'll take the plant.
Holy shit. Does he stick something in her skin that's full of poison? Does he give her a poison IV?
He does it.
God, wow.
Look at it. It's right there, Ryan.
Look at it. No, everybody stop and look at it.
Freaking look at it. It's right here for you guys. So yeah, as soon as like we had this whole backstory, I was like, damn, they keep doing it. They keep doing adding interesting things. But what killed me... go for it.
He hits 2 hardcore, mediocre person notes right away, which is, you created that, but I'm your teacher, so technically I created it. And then the fucking knockout punch, who's going to believe you over me?
Yeah.
And that's what people really think. That's how people do their bidding. That's how Elon Musk made his career.
Uh-huh. It's how all the worst people have made their career, I can guarantee. So yeah, and then she goes through like all of this. She gets her revenge, straight up takes him back to the classroom, then tangles him up in like poison ivy, murders him. So great. Let's go, women. But then she goes back and Harley and is like trying to get their like debriefing of their days, and she just says nothing of it. So I was like, okay, all right, we got something there.
One of the things I find super interesting about these 2 characters is where their morals and ethics lie with each other and with the outside world. Just like a quick example, Harley saw like the owner of the country club that the birthday party is at, steal a walker from a woman and like beat her with it.
Yeah.
And later on said that was pretty cool, which is weird because I would think Harley is in the good guy, bad guy point where like that person would be on her shit list, right? She's always trying to like punch up and never down. But despite them being villains, despite them having cloudy ethics and morals, Poison Ivy's not telling Harley about this, I think says so much. And I think that the drama of the season will not be will they or will they not break up. I'm admitting that to everyone listening. But
this is huge progress. I'm so proud of you.
It will be what are the secrets and why are the secrets? What determines what you tell your partner, but and what determines, because I don't think Harley would judge her at all. Got revenge on that guy who did that to her. She would be
the happiest. That's peak for her. And the way she killed him, that's absolutely, she'd be 100%.
But Cassie, here's the thing. You keep saying, you said killed, you said murdered, and you think Ivy has been in the game long enough to always make sure there's a corpse.
Yeah. Yeah, very true.
I looked up this person while this episode was going on. I mean, I paused it and then used my phone because I do not use my phone while this is playing in the Pop Filter Theater. And it said Jason Woodrue in DC Comics is known as Florian Man. So like flora as opposed to fauna. I do not know if there's a Faunian Man, but and he looks like Swamp Thing, Man Thing, or a boy version of Poison Ivy. So there is, a backstory here.
Okay. All right. Overall, how are you feeling? Are you excited for this season?
I am so excited, and it's because for a couple of reasons. This one doesn't count, but this is the only one of our shows that my wife will watch with me. And we watched it pretty late at night, and even with the volume down, we had to cover each other's mouths because it's just, there's probably 4, and this is a lot for today's TV or any day's TV, 4 bust a gut, laugh out loud, top of your lungs moments per episode. And that is, you can't replace that. Yeah.
And they're really good at just throwing it in there almost as a throwaway to them, but it'll be the funniest joke to you.
I was sort of missing the rest of the gang from season 1. I said that, or I thought that right when there was a knock at the door and it was King Shark, so that was fortunate. But the gang being gone, it sucks, but I also trust in the show to whoever they introduce us to now we will care about as well. In this joke that is almost nonstop piss and shit jokes and then more piss jokes. The old gang being gone doesn't matter as much as you would think.
Yeah. We're running out of time, but I do want to hit moments of the week. What was your moment of the week for these episodes?
Okay, I hate doing stuff like this for moment of the week because it's purely performance-based.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be able to do it right. I'm going to ruin it if you haven't seen it. But very rudely, not cool, King Shark brings over his 8 absolute monster children to Harley's house and then just leaves. And he's like, well, I have no other choice, so you guys have to babysit them. Before he leaves, he warns Harley and Ivy that they are allergic to peanuts. And as King Shark shuts the door, Harley says, I'm going to feed them all peanuts. And Ron fucking Funches screams at the top of his lungs, no, you won't, Aunt Harley. the way he screams it, I have never laughed that hard at a show, which isn't true, but it was a guffaw.
I've never heard him take this tone before, and the way you could hear how far off the mic he was, fully screaming his lungs out. Like
he's a soft-spoken guy who has a soft-spoken stand-up act. He mostly does soft-spoken characters, and he fucking went all out for this one line. He might have passed out in the booth.
Honestly. This is one of the top moments for me too. Also, just Harley, he has all these kids, all nightmares. There's one specifically that's a giant pain, like just a nightmare child.
Sean?
He's the one biting arms and shit. This is obviously the one that she bonds with the most. The whole time she's like this little fucker, and then by the end, like she basically adopts this or kidnaps this child. My moment of the week, though, early on in the first episode, when they're in their rut, they're walking through a park and they come across Riddler and
Clockman,
Clock King or some shit.
Yeah, there you go, Clock King.
And they're a couple out there, and they're going back and forth. He's making, I'm gonna say, about 5 clock jokes. At the end, he switches it up, and there's a line of like, and Riddler knows what to do with my cock.
knows how to turn my cock.
Yeah. And they're like, did you mean clock? Absolutely not. No.
I mean, that's what the show needed, is like a gay couple to compete with.
Yeah.
But they're so fucking annoying. And of course, it's Jim Rash, who is like, as Riddler, who is perfect for this role.
Yeah. If you haven't checked it out yet, you absolutely should. If you're with us on this season, new episodes are coming out Thursdays, and that's on Max. That's
real quick. Sorry, Cassie, but this is important. So shut the fuck up. Jim Rash is an actor that like we've known for a long time, right? He was in Community. He's voice of so many cartoons. Did you ever think about the fact that his name is like when inside of your thighs get red from working out? His name is Jim Rash. Did you ever?
You brought everything to a halt to go back for that.
What if we ended this episode and I had not told you and my listener that guy's name means little red burn bumps?
Oh no, it would have been popping up in the Reddit. People would have been screaming like, I can't believe they didn't make this connection. I'm glad we've done this, Ryan. You've saved the episode. You're an absolute hero. And as a hero, you get the honor and the privilege to tell us about a website that you are making.
Well, obviously, my website I'm making is jimrash.com, where you can see pictures of Jim Rash with Jim Rash. He gets it on his head. He gets it in his armpits. He gets it in, again, this is just a GeoCities website that has pictures and no other thing you can do on it, because that's all we know how to create.
You freaking love those websites.
Oh, wait. Just now, though, there's a sale going on where if you go in the next week, you can right-click on any picture, hit print, and it will print from your printer. So,
you know what? That's big things, Ryan.
That's big things.
That's big. That's coming up big right there. And I'm gonna make it even bigger for you. I'm gonna send you to my friend cybersprout.net, and they're gonna make this a beautiful Rash website. That's because they specialize in websites. They're website people, and they have design experts that are well versed in digital strategy, and they combined. They work hand in hand with you. They build a website, and they love Rashes. Check them out. Cybersprout.net, your partner for a digital world. Coming up next, we're going to talk about what if.
You ever get a rash that stinks?
Don't they all? We are back, and we're going to talk about what if. Ryan, tell us about it.
In addition to stories about the Wild West and the Wild Future, the back half of the final season of What If puts the spotlight on the Watcher himself and asks, who watches the Watchers if the Watch could watch would? Taste buds, I ask you this. Is a good Entertainment Weekly headline from the 90s for a review of this show? What if? More like what F minus.
I'm giving you a standing ovation right now. I'm giving you a raise. I'm giving you all the jobs. If I'm in that position, I'd be like, my God, he's done it again, you guys.
My Venmo just got $1 from you, so thank you.
And there's more coming for that.
Sure, I will believe that when I see those dimes. And please do not put it right into my bank account. I want dimes mailed to my house.
Okay, I can do that for you. But the postage is going to be more than the actual
what
you're receiving. Okay,
I'll pay
cool.
it.
This is a deal. Sharks, I'm in. Ryan, we are doing, how many episodes of What If are we catching up on right now?
We're doing 4, and this is the final 4 ever. So first one is Riri, still a weird name to say. She is the key to killing the future because it's taken over by Ultron and all that shit. But the crazy thing is that the reason why it's so hard to survive wars is because half of everything is real and half of it is hologram, all the weapons and soldiers. So you just don't know what to dodge or shoot. Mm-hmm. So you're like, you waste all your ammo on these holograms, and then you're like, oh, that's probably just a hologram. And then it's a real robot that shoots in your face. The next one is called What If 1872, which like they just stopped titling things.
Stop trying.
Like, what if there was a Marvel universe in 1872? No, just
what if here's a year.
So this is like Taylor Sheridan at this point. Just name shit with years. This had so much promise. It sort of coughed out at the end, but this was Shang-Chi and Kate Bishop trying to go around the Wild West and figure out who to kill. And it turns out that the villain is Shang-Chi's sister from the movie Shang-Chi. A couple cool things about this one. In order to get Shang-Chi to appear, if you needed to talk to him, you had to hit a bell 10 times. So there would be 10 rings. And so it was Hawkeye and the 10 rings was this combo. But ultimately that episode had a problem, the same problem as the last 2, which were so close to being interesting, which was the Watcher is on trial for intervening. Mm-hmm. And he does it a lot. He actually does it, believe it or not, in every comic book issue he's in. Otherwise, why would he be in that comic book issue? Yeah. They don't just draw him at the end of like a Nick Fury issue and just be like, and the Watcher did nothing.
And by the way, this guy was around.
So he intervenes, and the 3 other Watchers put him on trial and say, "You intervene too much. You're not watching right," which is what most people do during movies because they're on their phone, and that is not watching right. And so the big 5 of this show, Captain Carter, Kahori, there's others, Storm, who was voiced by the X-Men animated series lady.
Oh, hell yeah.
Storm, yeah. They all come together, and when they're about to be killed by the Watcher Tribune, they all take the Watcher oath really quick. Just say these words very fast, and they do it, and they all become powerful Watchers. With, I do want to point out, normal size heads, because if Captain Carter had the same body but just a big Funko head, that might have been better. But then what happens is all these interesting ideas they're talking about like what does it mean to be a person, and if you're only watching but not intervening or not making choices, are you a real character in fiction or real life? Kind of go down the toilet, because then there's this fight that lasts 80% of the episode, and it's not fair because the good guys punch the Watchers in the head every single time because of how big their heads were.
Yeah, that's a fatal flaw right there.
It's why everybody always punches me in the butt, because of how juicy it is.
I'm sorry you have this burden that you have to deal with.
Everybody thinks I'm like 6'2", but that's just, I'm 4'5". I'm just sitting down on this fucking delicious butt.
Yeah, it's just that fat ass.
Overall, Cassie, and I know that we have waned hardcore as a podcast about our like excitement for this show, going from like first season, one of the best MCU's ever done, to now like I'm the only person who watched it, and it was begrudgingly. Ultimately, I think a failed experiment, just like the Watchers are. Stop watching shit.
You said it ends with the Watcher watching? Like it basically ends with just like his jammy jam?
Yeah, is pajama jammy jam. He throws a house party where you have to come in your pajamas. Maybe ultimately the point was go like touch grass, like maybe stop watching this MCU shit and doing nothing like this Watcher does.
Wow. If only you weren't the only person on Earth to watch that, and we could have all received that message. But sadly, it's only you, Ryan.
It sucks too that like when I start my cult and I take over, networks and airwaves to preach this message, everybody's like super into it until they're like, "Oh, where'd you get that message?" I'm like, "Oh, episodes 307 and 308 of the Disney Plus show What If." Like, boo.
Wait, did you say there was 3 seasons of it? God. Yeah. Do you have a moment of the week from these episodes?
Oh, fuck. I will say that my moment of the week is when Bishop, Haley Steinfeld, who I can't marry for obvious reasons, kills Shang-Chi's brother, or sister rather, because she thinks she's the bad guy, and realizes that it's Shang-Chi's sister. Sister's dying in Shang-Chi's arms, and Kate Bishop is like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, look, she made her own decisions. Let's roll. And that's the fucking cowboy life right there.
I love when they know they don't have the time. They're just like, you know what? He's fine. And in the script, it says he's fine with it. And we move on.
It's minute 26 in this episode. We got to get out of here.
It's all good, little sugar.
Are you a cowboy?
Yeah, I am.
Cowboy Cassie.
If you want to check out What If, it is on Disney Plus. That be the shows that came out this week. Them there the shows.
A cowboy that talks like a pirate. You gotta love it.
That means it's the end of this episode. We have some websites that you should check out. First of all, you should be checking out podfilter.co. That's where everything Podfilter lives. You can see articles. You can catch all of our shows that way. Another website you should check out, podfilter.co/Amazon. If you're already shopping on Amazon, switch it up and shop it through that way, because then we get some money. And then maybe we can get a real piñata. And I really look forward to that. We have another show on the network. Ryan, can you tell the people about it?
Sure. That show is, of course, it's like an improvisation about Seinfeld characters running a party store. They sell party goods. It's called Piñata Yada Yada, and they just discuss, how about this, Cassie? Movie of the Year is the only show on the planet that covers every movie that's ever made. Right now, tune in, because all we're doing, me, Cassie, Mike, Movie of the Year star Greg, Shush star Caitlin, a Natural 20 star Mac. We are all over there covering the year that was 2024. So get over there and check that out.
We're also on social media. Give us a follow over there on Instagram. We're at YourPopFilter. We have an email as well. It's contact@popfilter.co. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, if you just want to check in on us, email's the way to do it. And that's the only way we want to interact with you. Send us your emails. Next week, we're going to be going back to Spider-Man, because it's Spider-Man week in our hearts. So be sure to catch for that one. That's it, though, for Ryan, I'm me. For me, I am me. Bye, everyone.